Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. It's set in 135 scale and it copies quite unusual vehicle. Frankly speaking, I didn't even see it before, so that's a Laffly V15T. As you can see, kit number is 570, and we have a commercial sample here, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. Nothing will change. That's the final shape of this kit, and therefore it will be quite, I would say, interesting to see what is actually supplied in this nice box. So here we have some information about the real vehicle, and as usual there is also a parts count, which is barely visible on such dark background. Here we also have one of the marking options. I truly hope that we have more included. We will see it in assembly manual, but overall I can see that we should have several markings, because there is, as far as I remember on announcement, there was a Decals sheet displayed with more symbols, so we will see. As usual, there are stickers on each side of the box, so it means if these stickers are cut off, then you got the open box. So here, by the way, you can see this plastic bag with all the sprues inside. It's a resealable plastic bag, so basically you can store all the unused sprues when you'll be building this model, and that's quite a handy feature. So we are going to start with this plastic frame. Here we have various body panels for this vehicle, and you can see that these are quite large parts, so you will have to be careful with alignment. But as far as I remember, all these vehicles, military vehicles from ICM, are quite easy to build, especially the recent releases, because they're well thought and the overall design is quite nice, so it's not that difficult to combine all the parts together. And from what I can see here, we should have separate hatches. Actually, no, this Laffly, it has no doors, right? No hatches, so that's why we have just a cutout, just like on the real vehicle. Note that here we have screen wipers pre-molded, which is rather unusual design in my opinion. And again, molding quality seems to be fine. I don't see any possible molding damage here. Even the large parts are molded without any flash around them, especially this windscreen frame. And maybe because we have the frame separately, you won't need any masks or templates, because you just insert the clear parts there and you will be good to go. But we will see it in assembly manual. Next, Sprue is a bit different, because here we have some parts for the engine. Also we have bonnet panels and radiator grille. So again, just like any previous military vehicle from ICM, this one includes a lot of technical parts, mechanical parts, and that's why it's, I would say, a good idea to show somehow what will be hidden under the bonnet, because otherwise you just end up with all the features inside the vehicle enclosed and not displayed to the viewer. But again, this is your decision. Maybe you would like to go this way and focus on the external features only. But note that the engine, the power plant, let's say, is quite detailed out of the box, and this is something what I appreciate about ICM keys, because it gives you a lot of features without the necessity to get some additional aftermarket upgrades, be it resin or maybe even PE parts. And note here, by the way, this one-piece front grille and one-piece steering wheel, they look quite nice out of the box. But be careful with thin parts, be careful with small parts, because as you can see, there are a lot of them, and maybe they will require application with special tools, tweezers, because bare fingers will not feed it into the right spot in the right position. So pay attention to this, and maybe do not underestimate this kit, because it will be quite important. Next, we continue with these two sprues. So here we have various parts for road wheels. We also have some parts for seats. And in my opinion, everything looks fine. The only thing where you have to be extra careful while separating is the seat backrests, because as you can see, they're molded together with frames. So now my sister will show this frame closer so that you can understand what we are talking about. So here on the top section, well, these are the front wheels, which, let's say, can be called as a helping wheels. As you can see, they have quite interesting design. And yes, they are fully plastic, while the main wheels, if we can say so, they will also employ the vinyl tires. Here, by the way, you can see the seat backrests. So be careful with these frames, which are around the backrest pad, because it will be easy to break them and then you will have to fix it somehow. That's not such a pleasant procedure, and that's why I'm recommending to pay attention to this stuff. Here, by the way, you can take a closer look from the opposite side, and here are these seat parts as well. So again, small parts, but they're molded nicely without any additional issues whatsoever. Next, we continue with another plastic sprue. So this one is dedicated to, again, mix of various parts, because we have one piece mainframe or chassis, and then we have a lot of parts for the suspension. I can see the suspension arms, I can see also some Pioneer tools, wheel rims, also some parts for the folding roof, because here in this version it will be depicted as the folded roof. You cannot assemble the vehicle with a retracted roof. I guess it will be a separate boxing, just like with other models from ICM. Here, by the way, you can see this chassis, and this is quite impressive. I mean, it shows what can be achieved with a modern technology, because it's a one-piece part. You don't have to combine separate bars together, and that's why it might be a quite quick thing to assemble out of the box, let's say. Here, by the way, we continue with some suspension parts. They look also quite impressive. Maybe it would be a wise idea to show it somehow on the finished model, but maybe some modelers just won't care about it. Here we continue with the roof, as I said before, and also we have some panels for the interior, for the engine parts, and also some Pioneer tools which will be placed on the rear part of the vehicle. Everything looks cool, so there is nothing to complain about. And of course, it will benefit, especially Pioneer tools, maybe they will benefit from some additional weathering. Here, by the way, you can see the parts from the opposite side. So again, everything looks quite good. And I have nothing to add to these parts. I mean, they are okay for out-of-the-box build. Next, we continue with a clear frame, which is packed into the separate plastic bag. And there are not that many clear parts. We have only lenses for the headlamps. Also, we have two glasses for the windscreen. And as you remember, we have a separate windscreen frame, so it will be interesting if ICM provides any masks in the assembly manual, or we will just use such design. Next, we continue with another plastic bag. This one is dedicated to vinyl tires. And this is something I'm not sure I understand, because, I mean, you all know that I'm not a huge fan of vinyl parts, but still we get them here in 2021, and they should be alright for out-of-the-box build, but I guess some modelers will try to find some resin replacement for better appearance. But you can see that these are quite typical vinyl parts. Not bad, but can be better, let's say. So, next thing is the assembly manual. It is printed in form of large brochure with a short history note on the first page. And here on the rear side you can see a marking guide, but I'm afraid still that we have only one marking option. Here you can see also some technical specifications and colors chart. And next, let's open it, because inside we have this decals sheet. So there are several types of symbols as far as I can see. So at least two marking options should be there. We also have some decals for the dashboard, so also quite a useful thing. Next, let's continue. Here we have the parts map. So parts map shows unused parts with the red color, but you can notice that there are not that many red areas, and that's why you should be careful, because once you lose any part, there are no spare chances whatsoever, so that's why it's a bit tricky thing. Next, we continue with the main chassis, and note that we already working on cutting off the frontal section. This is quite interesting thing. Then we assemble the suspension arms. Each one should be glued out of two halves. Now we continue with this bar on the front. Again, some leaf springs, which are also built out of two halves. This is an interesting design. Next, we continue with some parts for these front wheels. I guess these are the special feed for some power, so that these wheels will be powered. Next, we continue with some additional parts for the suspension. And frankly speaking, this is quite detailed chassis, I would say. A lot of suspension details. a lot of features. And here, by the way, you can see these frontal wheels being installed in place. Next, we continue with assembly of the engine. So here you also have to combine a lot of parts together. As I said before, engine is quite detailed, especially if you won't be lazy and add some wiring here, it will be even more impressive. But again, you'll have to think through how to open the bonnet, because I'm not sure if ICM actually shows such assembly option out of the box. Here you can see, for example, the installation or assembly of the, let's say, main section of the main car body. So a lot of panels to combine together, but it's not as difficult as it might look to be. So it's just some patience and you'll get the right structure out of the box. I hope it won't be difficult. And also we have separate covers for these various storage compartments. We also have this decal for the dashboard. Here we start working on the bonnet area. So as you can see, you assemble the radiator as a separate panel, and this gives a hope that there will be no there is no option to open the bonnet. So if you would like to do so, you will have to slightly modify the original plastic parts, and that will require some additional work. Next, we continue with wheel rims. As you can see, they get installed into their slots. Also, we install the wheel fenders. Actually, these are brakes, these are not wheel rims, because next we continue with wheel rims and vinyl tires, which will be installed on the brake drums, if we can so say it. And next we continue with various additional accessories. Pioneer tools, as you remember, I said that they will be fixed on the rear side. Here we have the windscreen and folded roof installation. Also headlamps getting into the right spot. And next we have the various minor elements getting installed here and there, and that's pretty much all. Here you can see the finished vehicle. So that's the first marking option here. So I was right, there's more than one marking option, but they're both green, so that's why you have to be, let's say, careful on which marking you choose, or maybe search for some additional photos. Maybe you'll find a different coloring in a bit more interesting, I would say, scheme. But both vehicles are from 1940. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it in the comment section below. And of course, share it with your friends so that they know about this vehicle from ICM. And if you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today. Stay tuned for more reviews because there are a lot of novelties from ICM, and I will see you soon. Bye.